All right, got a very special guest for us tonight, a Republican representative from South Carolina, Adam Morgan. Adam, I was very impressed and was very happy to get you here on the program because you made a speech in the South Carolina House the other week that went viral. And I want to play a little bit of this for our viewers. Have a listen to this at home.
Y'all might not know this. A dark money entity that was created on Tuesday, the day after we voted for this, I went home and a attack piece went out in my whole district about the fact that I voted for this. I get that the people in Columbia, that the lobby wants me to either not vote or to vote green on this, but my constituents want me to vote red, and they want their tax money spent on core government functions.
What your suggestion is we should listen to the people back home in your district rather than the people at Commerce that have been successful at bringing these mega deals to South Carolina.
No, I 100% am going to listen to the people back home who I represent in this House, and you should listen to the 40,000 people in your area, and not the bureaucrats at Commerce, and not the lobbyists, and not the multi-billion-dollar international corporations. You should listen to your constituents like I am.
Adam Morgan, some incredible straight talk there, blowing the whistle on the political system and how things work in your state, and I suspect Washington. First of all, tell us a little bit of background, and how surprised would people be to know how things really work in the halls of power?
Yeah, I think it went viral because, he said the quiet part out loud that everyone knows most politicians believe, which is the folks back home, the people that we actually represent. Well, the elites think they're too stupid to understand basic economics and how jobs are created. And we know best in government how to spend their money and how to plan their lives and their jobs. And it's just crazy that you hear a representative making that argument. And I was baffled. I mean, you saw my very genuine response of shock and kind of just pushing right back on him. And I think it resonated with a lot of people because we're just fed up with elites thinking that they know best how to run our lives. Government doesn't create jobs. Government planning doesn't work. We need the government to get out of the way and let the American people be great, the Australian people be great. Let's trust our people and let them manage their own lives.
And, something you said there at the start of that grab, you talked about how when you came out in opposition to the thing that you were supposed to do and that you were being told to do, some group comes out and starts planting stories about you in the press, essentially. Explain a bit more about sort of how this works, that people have, who are in power don't really have necessarily power. There's people out there who are going to be using dark money and other sorts of mechanisms to try and influence what you do.
Yeah, in this case, we were dealing with a bill that was giving $1.3 billion of tax incentives, $400 million of which was taxpayer cash that we were handing to a private company to come and make electric vehicles in South Carolina. And in my area, every single constituent that reached out to me said, vote no, it's a terrible deal. Electric vehicles are declining. It's not even our area of the state. Government incentives don't work. You're playing socialism in the private sector. And so I went in and voted no, and we had 2 votes. So I went home, and as you mentioned, a dark money entity was already ready to go, sending out attack texts in my whole district and a social media ad saying that I was anti-job and all these other awful things about me to try to pressure me to flip my vote and vote against the way my constituents wanted me to, and to vote the way these multi-billion-dollar corporations and their lobbyists and House leadership, how they wanted me to. So I simply got at the well and explained why I was voting no. And you just saw the leader of the opposition party jump up and actually make the argument that I, as a representative, should not represent my people or listen to my people because, they're just too stupid. I need to listen to unelected bureaucrats and represent their interests over the people I represent, which is just shocking and everything wrong with politics. And we need more people to stand up to the establishment, to stand up to the swamp, is what we call it over here in the States. And it's very real. You have this kind of uniparty establishment between both parties and between the lobbyists, where they care more about what lobbyist special interests think than the constituents and the interests they represent. And we've just got to break that stranglehold on American politics.
And I hear, am I right that you are now contemplating a move to the big leagues in Washington, D.C., Adam Morgan, for Congress? Is this correct?
Yes, absolutely. I'm running for Congress right now in South Carolina. You can check more about it at voteadammorgan.com. And yeah, I think that we need people who will go into the halls of Congress and fight for the people. That's what's missing in Congress. That's why you have so many people confused about how to vote and where their values lie, because they're looking at who's writing campaign contributions, primarily coming from the lobbyists, and not worried about the people back home, the folks back home, as you heard in the clip. That they have such derision for. And, I bring the voice of the people into the chamber in South Carolina. I fight for my values and my beliefs, and I'm open and transparent and think we need more of that in government. And, we need more debate on issues. We don't need everybody to think the same and act the same and vote the same. We need a robust discussion and questioning how we're spending taxpayer dollars. And it's time for us to actually focus on and care about what the people think and not what unelected bureaucrats and lobbyists think.